right at the end from Seabot.
Yeah, I don't really understand what they're getting at with that. I don't think I've ever been an antagonist. I don't like to think of any of us as protagonists or antagonists. We're just people.
Well said.
If the question is what would I have done in Monika's place, I have no idea. Hard to imagine being attracted to the player of the game instead of Sayori.
And with that...
Next! Hello, club friends. Quick, hopefully unique, simple question. Who would you say each of your voices sound like? Because of course I have my interpretations, but I'd like to read it from y'all. Bonus cookie points for the Japanese dub version of the club. P.S. Love you, Monika. Can't help it. They answered this in another email earlier in the season.
Oh, interesting question. As I've said before, my voice is similar to that of my voice actress, Jillian Ashcraft, except it's a little deeper than that, but that doesn't make any damn sense. I think I'd go with the Kari Katu for my Japanese seiyuu. Oh, good choice. Thank you, MC.
I'll answer both questions at once, I think. Both who I sound like and who I'd get to voice me. Taki Yashiro is the closest, I think. He and I have pretty similar voices.
My voice is actually the highest in the literature club. It's pretty high-pitched in general. I'm not really sure who I sound like. But for a seiyuu who would voice me, I'll go with Arisa Tagato. She definitely has my kind of voice. Tell me you're right. Not close. Easy, best Natsuki voice. Awesome seiyuu. Moving on. I too will just tell you the seiyuu who sounds most like me, as a way of answering both questions at once. Or at least, the seiyuu who Natsuki says sounds most like me. And that is Ayako Kawasumi. What about you, Messina? I guess I'll go with Kotano Mitsuishi. She sounds pretty similar. Legendary voice actress, good choice. Thanks for your email. I can't help it either. Yeah. Next!
For Sayori, do you have any interest in gardening? Do you have any unique quirks that we don't know about? Also, can you please tell me how the heck do you get the handbag from Natsuki mod? Or, no, from the Natsuki mod you made. I swear I tried every single thing I can think of. You gotta make, what was the thing? You attach the hook to the stick, and it becomes... Wasn't it a gaff? Yeah, it was a gaff.
Oh! It looks like this is a multi-part question starting with me. If it's been this long, I'm just gonna give you the answer to the second part of the question. You have to combine inventory items. So first you'll need the stick, which you can find in the planter outside Natsuki's apartment. And then you'll need the plastic hook, which you can find by using Natsuki's locker. And then if you use the two together, you get a big hook stick. And then you can use that on the handbag to get it down. Although, before you get it down, you should try using it on me first. Yeah, the interaction is funny. There are a lot of funny little interactions even for things that don't work. That's why it took so long to make. Anyway, as to the first part of your question, no, I'm terrible at gardening. I've barely ever even tried, I guess. But the few times I have tried, it didn't go well. I'm not really interesting enough person to have unique quirks or hobbies you guys don't already know about. Except, like we said before, you're super good at knowing when people are hiding things. And you're super good at hiding things yourself. Well, maybe.
For Natsuki, got no questions, but I just want to say that you have a great sense of humor. Probably the best there ever is.
Let's see here. Ah, thank you, emailer. No doubt you were partially inspired by all the hilarious jokes I wrote for Series 1. Some of the dialogue for me in that game was written by me. Sayori wanted it to have that authentic Natsuki feel. Thanks for the shout-out!
For MC, since you played Persona 5 before, I got to ask you who you think is the best girl, and what's your favorite soundtrack from it? What do you do on weekends when you have nothing planned, besides video games? Oh, more Persona questions, huh? Best girl is Sumire, easy. Very tasteful question to ask about the soundtrack. Persona's soundtrack is super underrated. Underrated? You sure about that? I would say it's pretty well renowned, actually. Unless it's... Well, let's see. Hold on. Which one did he ask about? What's your favorite soundtrack from it? Is he talking about, like, the original Persona, then, maybe? I don't know. I actually really like the Poem of Everyone's Soul, the menu's music. And not just because it has the word poem in it. It's just got a really chill vibe that I dig a lot. And that's important since you spend so much time in the game listening to it. Let's see. Your last question is what I do on weekends with nothing planned. Honestly, these days, I really like to spend time with Sayori. Sometimes I might make some progress on some of the paperwork and administrative stuff we have to do for college entrance. I work on that with my sister a lot. But yeah, mostly Sayori. For Monika, my favorite. Can you tell us an inspiring quote that you like? If you could pick any language to instantly be fluent in, what language would you pick? Also, I would appreciate it if you would throw a Discord invite my way, please.
It's like what I've said before, but it's this. Chance favors the prepared mind. Those Pasteur is the original quoting. It really gets across with now how what seems like luck is often just taking advantage of opportunities by a good preparation. Let's see if I could pick any language.
Okay, working? Work! The controller has died. No. Unplug it and replug it. Does it work? Ba-doop. You gonna go now? There, yes.
I already have learned in French. It seems like a waste to pick that when I'm already working on it. And I'm already fluent in Japanese and English. Maybe Hindi, just because so many people speak it. And Chinese is similar enough to Japanese in some ways that I'd probably have an easier time learning it than Hindi. So there you go. I sent your Discord invite.
You know, sometimes if languages are too similar, it might actually make it tougher to learn them, because then you get them confused. Then again, I've never successfully learned another language, so what do I know? For Yuri, I know video games aren't your biggest hobby, but I wanted to give a recommendation on one of my favorite games that I've enjoyed. This game is called Subnautica. It's a survival forward-stroke sci-fi game where your ship crashes on an alien water planet called 4546b. In this game, you get to explore the different underwater biomes and plenty of dangerous fish call home. You also will need to scavenge for tools and parts you will need to explore from wrecks that came off your ship. There's also a story to the game that you will learn about as you explore deeper into the sea, and plenty of lore to the plants, biomes, and the animals you can learn about with a scanner tool that you can acquire within 5 minutes into the game. It's a bit of a scary game with the fear of the unknown and wondering what dangers are lurking around the corners, so I'd recommend playing with someone in the same room, as you won't feel as scared playing this game, assuming you have a fear of deep waters, that is.
I've seen this game. Lansky showed it to me a few times. The previous email they discussed it as well. I do like the ocean theme of it and the vast world to explore. But it seems a little scary sometimes. An actual physical danger from wildlife way, rather than an atmospheric horror way. Plus sometimes you have to hurt the sea life to defend yourself from it. And that would make me sad. I may try it someday. I just haven't yet. We will see.
I don't know, I might not feel so bad about hurting this wildlife when it's trying to hurt you. MC Anonsky, I just recently got my gaming PC after a few months of hard work. Now I can talk to you guys in 4K lol, and it got me wondering, what kind of specs do you have on your PCs? Also, what was your first ever console? Emailer wants the specs.
Sorry to say, I don't really know the specs on mine. It's a gaming laptop? Fuyuki bought it for me a while back. I know this makes me like less of a hardcore PC gamer or whatever, but I don't really know much about graphics cards and stuff like that. My laptop runs stuff pretty well though. Probably means Fuyuki spent way too much money on it. But anyway, what about you, MC?
It's a slightly older gaming computer now.
But it checks out?
It does. The CPU is an i7 6700K, 16 GB of RAM, a 2 TB or terabyte, I guess, HDD, and a half TB SSD. GPU is a GTX 1080. So basically my rig is top of the line stuff as of 2016. Pretty dated now, but I can still run most stuff that comes out on max settings, so not really a huge needs upgrade. If I were going to upgrade, I'd probably want one of those higher capacity SSDs that they have now. SSDs have gotten really big and really cheap these days. Probably should upgrade the RAM to 32 gigs. Also, while I'm at it, that wouldn't cost a fortune either. So something to aim for the future. Or to aim at for the future.
Whoa, that was interesting. Didn't figure for such a techie, MC.
Well, as a hardcore PC gamer, I need to know my stuff.
I respect it.
For everyone, what is your ideal vacation? How often do you rely on autocorrect? Also, are there any questions you would like to ask us fans in the real world? Anyways, that's all from me. Have a good day, everyone!
Alright, so to wrap up ideal vacation, how often do we use autocorrect and any questions from us to the real world? My ideal vacation is probably to go see the sights in a city I'm not familiar with. I don't really use autocorrect, I have it turned off. It creates more errors than it solves for me. And I don't really have any questions for you. I think I asked them all the last time an emailer asked us to ask them questions.
I'd probably want to do a trip up into the mountains. Not too rustic where I'm in a tent or something, but in some nice climate-controlled cabin up in the middle of nowhere. That sounds nice. I do use autocorrect. The only reason I can text at any reasonable speed is because of it and the autocomplete. And I also don't have any questions. I think I like the best vacation I'm already on right now, where I get away with friends and loved ones. Having interesting experiences with people close to you is the best. As with Monica, I do not use autocorrect at all. As to questions, I would ask if you were on, or if you were or were not too weirded out by the time I spent as club president last semester. Really, I was just trying to provide an interesting experience for you. Hopefully I did not take it too far from your perspective.
I'm pretty easy with regard to vacations. I like just about anything. I really liked our trip to that aquarium theme park a couple years ago. I'll go with that. I use autocorrect about as much as anyone, I guess. Don't really notice it as a huge part of my life. I guess I do have a question for all of you out there. Why are you still here? I mean, no offense, but we're just a bunch of mostly regular teenagers, you know. Are we really that interesting? That's all from me, I guess.
Oh my god, see, I don't care where I go on vacation. I just care that it's with the right person. I use autocorrect sometimes, but sometimes I forget. And I type and text so many weird abbreviations and misspellings that sometimes autocorrect doesn't know what I want to do. I don't have any questions for the real world right now, but I wish all of you so much love and happiness.
This vacation has been cool. It's had a little bit of everything. I think if I could design a dream vacation, it would be one where every other day was some intense activity and the other day was a chill day. I think combining interesting stuff to do with chill is the key to a good vacation. I don't use autocorrect. It cramps my style. All my misspellings and typos are on purpose. And I guess I don't have too much to ask of the real world. I guess maybe one. If you had to describe your area in one word, what would it be? And that's all I got. Next!
Question for all. Mustache or no mustache? If yes, then what is your favorite style? From a scared hot dog. No mustache, as you can see.
And that's why I also like no mustache.
I like guys without mustaches, but I also like a good mustache. Both are good. Just definitely not those creepy, smaller, or wispy ones. But a good, strong, bold one. Especially because of the nice beard. Or if you have one of those big, fancy old West type mustaches, those are badass.
I am indifferent entirely to mustaches. They neither add nor detract anything from appearance for me, all other things being equal.
As with Natsuki, I appreciate both mustache havers and non-mustache havers. My taste in them is perhaps a bit less bold than Natsuki's though. I agree that mustaches often go best with accompanying beards. A full beard with mustache is very masculine indeed. But I'm happy no matter what really.
I tend to prefer smooth-shaven guys, but that said I don't mind well-kept facial hair at all. Although it does take some getting used to for kissing. I hope that answers your question.
I think we nailed that one. Next!
So, I know the time loop is the hot topic right now, so I want to understand it a bit more. Since the senior year loops, are your classes also set for the full year? Can you take a level 1 class in one year and the level 2 in another? Do you get accepted to universities, assuming you can even apply? If you can repeat classes, does the material or itinerary change significantly? And on a more serious note, it doesn't seem like other events repeat over the loop. Do you think bad things happen to your group specifically to create drama for a player viewing it?
Yeah, we can take different classes each year. I know I've repeated some. And yes, it was a different class each time. Even if you took Maceda's chemistry class twice, it's not quite the same each time, I'm sure. And while I think we could have applied for colleges each year, there was no effect when we didn't. Until we turned off the loop, that is. Then, of course, we wanted to make sure we had our applications in. I hope bad things don't just happen to us to tell a story. Although that would be entirely consistent with my existence to date. I do not, I do note that your perspective tends to point at things that are dramatic. If we spend a couple weeks doing nothing in particular that's dramatic or interesting, chances are low you'll see it. So our lives probably seem a lot more drama-filled to you than they do to us. Honestly, other than the whole incident with this being a simulation, it doesn't feel particularly dramatic, I guess. I'll leave that for you to judge. Thanks for writing.
Next!
Yuri, are you a tree? Love did crack.
Ah!
No.
God, why? Next, please!
Hi everyone, this is my first question. I ask you guys, and I hope your day is going well. So my question is for everyone in the club. Have you guys watched some YouTube videos from a guy called Kirksies? He makes some really cool and fun DDLC animations. And if you have, what is your favorite video from this guy? Mine is Monica Bizarre's Adventure. Love y'all, especially you, Monica, or Gerald. Kirksies makes memes.
Yes, I've seen a few of those, including the recent ones that are voiced. Xerxes is really entertaining.
And talented.
Captain. I think my favorite one is the one where we're all playing Among Us. I appreciated the unexpected ending. What about you, Natsuki?
Let's see. There have been a lot of good ones. Oh, I know. Power Reach of the Pandemic, the two-part one. That one's awesome. And fantastic. Love Kirsty's work, man. What a content creator.
Love you too, Gerald. Thanks for writing.
In any event, good question. Next.
So my question is, if, hopefully when, you are able to cross over, how will you know which player is your player? Or will all of you figure it out and cross over and once kind of an invasion of the Monica's situation? It'd be a very cute invasion, though.
This first part appears to be for me. You know, I've never really been sure about this. I always hoped it'd be a many universes quantum thing, and that from each player's perspective, there'd just be the one of me, special for them. I don't know, though. The longer time goes on, the more I think that it's just not a thing that's ever going to happen. I mean, I hope it does. Well, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on, so I don't bum everyone out.
Also, if you ever played the World of Dreams mod, you'd like it. It puts you practically front and center and actually lets you interact with the player after we somehow get sent to your universe. Well, the DDLC universe.
Yeah, I played World of Dreams. I thought it was pretty good. I do like my Monica mods for obvious reasons. It's really remarkable that good mods still come out so much later, isn't it?
For everyone, speaking of multiverses, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming out soon, or has already depending on when you see my email, so are any of you into the MCU/Marvel or Western comic book heroes in general? I feel like MC Natsuki and maybe Sayori definitely would enjoy it if any of them gave it a chance. And thanks everyone for just existing! You guys are really the highlight of my day, and I love watching / playing through your hijinks as regular people who aren't trapped in a horror nightmare. You all deserve happiness, and I'm glad you have it now. At least somewhat. Jeez, about this next. Naj.